In this video, we're going to cover how to effectively use pricing and psychology to maximize your sales. And again, we're going to use the example of this passport covers collection. So at the top, I've used what we should be doing, and then at the bottom, I've put what we definitely shouldn't be doing. So my rule is, when I've got a collection, I like to make the prices look consistent in some way. So the way that they're all consistent is that I'll use the old 99 cents trick. I see a lot of people doing random numbers like 45 or 87 cents as the second number, but like 99 has been studied and proven to be like the most effective one. So, and it also increases your profit margin as well instead of having like 45. So if you're going to use 99, use it for all of them, and then that by itself is consistent. And as I talked about in the last video, consistency is a really good way to keep customers on your website because it's less work for your brain to do. So if they see something's 99, they can quickly scan the page and sort of assess that they're all 99. And I also very often do the same price for all of the products in a collection. So if I'm selling passport covers, even if one costs me slightly more than another product on AliExpress, I'll just charge the exact same price for it, because that again is another consistency that makes everything easier for your customer. So that's what I do. And then another thing I do is, when I've got a collection page and they've all got a similar price and none of them are on sale, I'll put one on sale, and it's normally the one that I think or know will sell the most, because what that does is create a contrast bias. So immediately your customers will focus on that, like, oh wow, everything's full price, but this is on sale. Like, I'm going to need to get on this deal before it goes back to full price. And I've looked at the data on this, and I get a lot of sales whenever I use this tactic in a collection, because it does just immediately draw someone to it and make them think that this is an opportune time to buy it. So they'll do that very often. And what I will absolutely not do is, so when you're importing products from AliExpress, on Oberlo, I'm not sure about the other ones, but on Oberlo, you can set a multiplier which will immediately multiply whatever the cost is from AliExpress, so that you've got an automatic price based on whatever multiplier you set. So if your product costs $2, you can set a multiplier of 5 for all of your products. So when it's imported into Oberlo will automatically do $2 times 5 and then charge $10 for it. The reason I don't like that is because products are very often a random number in AliExpress, which means they'll turn up to be a random number when Oberlo converts them as well. So here I've just done it naturally from AliExpress, and as you'll see, it's like $9.72, 16.54, 9.50, 7.98. Like, as I mentioned before, and I will keep repeating because it's so important, do not make your customers' brains work harder than they need to understand what you're selling. So try and have a very consistent price here. And it also just raises questions of trust of why these are all so random. Like, something just doesn't look right. So always try and keep it consistent. Don't use random numbers. Try and set the same price. And then that's a much better way to do it. And this isn't related to price, but the other thing I have to say is, when you do import products from AliExpress, in addition to changing the price, also change the name. Because again, I see this so often where they'll just keep the name from AliExpress, and the names on AliExpress are terrible. So I always change it to what the product actually is. On the first 2 rows, I've done it. And on the third one, it's just, it's got random brand names in it. It's just got keywords rather than an actual name of the product, and it's even got the word drop shipping in here. And you will be surprised. Like, I've done a lot of research on drop shipping stores. A lot of people do this because they're under the impression that drop shipping and just business in general is so easy that you can just import loads of stuff like this, click one button, and then you're just going to start raking the money. And like, guys, that's not how it works. Like, go on any successful e-commerce website like Amazon, or if it's fashion, like ASOS in the UK, and just look at what they do. Like, they don't do things like this. So try and copy them, because they're the ones that have spent the money to figure out what works best. So just try and emulate them, and then you'll see better results. So make the extra effort to set manually the price and the title, and you will get better results than just having garbage like this, which just, it's just inexplicable. So yeah, do that. And then the other tricks I use for pricing are, so free plus shipping is very popular in drop shipping. A lot of people say it's kind of on its way out now just because the Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising costs are increasing, but that's just nonsense, because that's not the only way you can promote free plus shipping. Like, you can just have an Instagram account, grow it through great content, and then just offer it as a deal in your regular posts. Like, there's nothing stopping people doing that. So free plus shipping isn't dead, it's just more expensive to do on Facebook advertising. So it's still a great strategy of getting people very interested in your website and getting clicks to your website. And what I do is, so I'll see, again, a lot of people, they'll offer free plus shipping, but they'll have an entire collection of just free products. And that just looks too suspicious. Like, if you went to a website, would you trust it if everything was just free? Like, it just looks really, really shady. So what I do is I always put the free plus shipping offers not on the first row, but the second row, because then it's not so far down that people might just give up and not even try and find it. But it's not right at the top where they just think immediately that they've come into the website and, hey, this is all free. Like, that's weird. So what I do is it's kind of like a version of social proof, where I'm like demonstrating that I sell legit products at legit prices as well. And then on the second row, it creates that, again, contrast bias where they're like, wow, they've got regular price products, but these are free. I need to buy these as soon as possible while they're still available at this price, or free. So definitely don't put it on the first row or as the first product. Put it in the second row, and then you'll see much better results with free plus shipping. And I've also figured out a different way to do free plus shipping. So like I just mentioned, a lot of people think it's dying because it's getting more expensive and your margins are quite low because you're just making money on the shipping that you charge. So I normally charge $8.99 for the shipping. And then, so the profit margin is quite small. If like a conversion on Facebook is costing like $5, your product cost is $1, then you're still just making like $2 per order. So the new thing I've discovered is, so what a lot of people recommended was just using free plus shipping as a way to get customers, like make the initial sale and then just increase the amount of the average order value that they then make afterwards. Because once you've got a customer on your email list, you can then promote more things to them over the weeks and months, and then over time their lifetime value as a customer will increase. So that's obviously great, do that. But I've also figured out a way to actually make the average order value of the first sale bigger, and that is to offer free plus shipping products where there's a variety of different ones. So most free plus shipping offers I see, it's for one product, so people either love it or hate it and they'll buy it or not buy it. Whereas if you offer products where there's variation, so for example passports, then you're more likely to convert a customer because A, they're not just choosing between one, they can choose what color they like. So that immediately increases the likelihood of a conversion, because instead of just one bog standard product, they've got a choice of what they actually like. And the second reason is, if you choose products where it's perfectly reasonable that they'll buy more than one. So if someone's buying a passport cover, it's very likely that they might buy one for their partner or their brother or sister or someone, like one of their friends or who they're going traveling with. And then that as well then increases the average order value, because instead of them just buying one, they might buy two or three. And the actual numbers for this I'll share with you. So before I did this, I was just selling one item at free plus shipping, and then the average order value for that was obviously the $8.99. But when I started doing it with 4 different options or 2 different options, I think the minimum I've done is 2, and then I've done some 3s and I've done some 4s. The order value, it didn't double, but it was, I think, about 80%. So instead of me earning like a $9 average order value, it was about $16 or $17 per average, because some people bought 2 and then others did just buy the 1, but then some people bought 3 or 4, and it averaged out at about 80% more than just the single order. So that's my version of free plus shipping. Obviously do the other stuff where you sell to customers once they're on your email list and have already bought something from you, but also at the initial stage, try and pick free plus shipping offers where the actual order, the average order value can be a lot higher, and then you're profitable immediately rather than having to just break even and then hopefully make sales down the line. So those are my recommendations on pricing. I think that's everything. So what did we cover? So keep the price consistent. So have $.99 for all of them, or $.97 if you really want to, but I think 99 is the best. Don't do things like this where it's just automatically calculating the price. Like, set the price manually yourself. Then use the contrast bias of having everything not on sale except to one product that you think might sell the best, and then even if it's like here, I've just done like a few dollars smaller, so I'm still making like a good profit, but it's just a tiny bit smaller, and then that will immediately trigger people to want to buy this more. And then also, when you do free plus shipping, don't put it as your first products and don't have them as all of your products. Put them on like the second row, and then that's a lot better. And the reason why I use red as the sale price, like people use blue and yellow and green, red is has been shown to draw the most attention because it's sort of associated with like danger or stop or alert, and then that immediately draws people's attention to that number. And that's worked very well for me to use the red rather than anything else. So those are my tips. And in fact, I didn't do this on purpose, but this is actually another good tip. So when you've got products on a collection page, if you want social proof, another form of social proof, you can always just put one product that you don't really want to sell anyway and just put it as sold out. So it looks like people have actually bought things from your store already and that product's already gone. But I would use that with caution because you're taking up space for a product that you can't sell. So it's a potential product wasted that you could have been selling something else and making money from. And B, if someone does want that product for some reason over all the other products, they might be like, oh, I might just wait until this product comes back in stock. And then every time they visit, it'll just still be out of stock. And then you're not going to get a sale. So you can use that as a form of social proof if you need it to build up trust. But maybe avoid it and focus on other ways to get social proof that I've mentioned throughout this course.